I want you to start to understand that you have two income streams in your business. You have the labor you provide, and you have the CEO money that you're paid for running your business. So you have two income streams from your business. And when you go to scale, you will determine from which of those streams you are diverting. So like I have my professional organizer, she hates sales with passions of fiery hell, and she knows it because she's a bleeding heart. So when somebody makes a face or holds their breath or does something in the pitch, she gets all angsty about it and then starts backpedaling and doing discounts. And she knew that about herself. So she took part of her CEO role in a micro business, by the way. I mean, I'm saying in a micro business. She said, I'm going to hire somebody who does sales, but she isn't going to get triggered. What that allowed her to do is then to take part of that 20 hours that was directed towards sales, and now she can be more client connected. Fine. She boosted the labor side of her revenue to compensate for the decrease in the CEO side of her revenue because she's outsourced a CEO part of her role. So does that kind of make sense to everybody? When you're looking at your key profitability indicators, you're wanting to see that you're getting a third in service-based businesses, And in the end, really that third that's sitting out on the end, you also need to allocate a percentage of that to a working capital account, and a percentage of that to a growth capital account. Because the working capital account is what I call is the in case shit fund. If shit goes sideways, that's my, pull emergency ripcord. Like that's the money and we can know that happened with COVID because it takes time for things to catch up, for support to structures to show up to support, and you need to buy yourself that time. And then your growth capital is so that you guys don't go, oh great, I get to take a pay cut as I scale. No, you don't. We've saved money into the growth capital account, and you're going to pay that person out of the growth capital account while the C's re-even out, right? So my organizer hired her salesperson, was going to take 6 months for her, well, it didn't actually, but what happened was in the time it took to her to take the additional business and allow the salesperson to take over, that took some time to equal out. So that's what that growth capital account's for, is your pay doesn't change while the C's even out. And because you then go back to putting money into it, it's replenishing itself so that you can then go back and do it again to scale again. So the key here is to scale in sustainable and manageable ways. So beware of any coach that just says, hire somebody, it'll work itself out. No. We need to be careful with what we're doing, what resources, how much runway do you have, what will you have to change to be able to make more money to compensate for them so that you are not working in deficit for an extended period of time. So the other thing too is, just so that you're all aware, labor can mean 1099, it can mean W-2, it can be employee as well as 1099. It's labor, what it takes to do the job.